Number two, we need to be pragmatic in getting to know one another to some extent before marriage, as much as is Islamically permissible. In the ayah that I already mentioned, Allah says He created spouses from among yourselves. And what many of the scholars say that means is that your spouse should be like you, should be similar to you, should have similar interests. You should connect in some way, on some higher level. And so therefore you should get to know each other to some extent. Now some people may say, well, how can we do that if we can't date? Well, we have to look and see how Islam allows us to get to know each other. The key is to spend quality time with one another. But you cannot do it in privacy. You cannot do it alone. You have to follow certain rules. And so practically speaking, one of the good ways to do that is to meet in public or to meet amongst your families. And the family should not be always right there on top of them, monitoring them, every little thing they do. No. They can be in a separate room, getting to know each other, talking, speaking, sitting with each other. Not touching, of course. But they should have a certain amount of privacy, not seclusion, but privacy in the sense that they can speak openly and freely without the parents hearing them, without the families hearing them. And this is really important because when you get married to somebody, this is how you're going to be with them. You're going to be talking to them. You're going to be speaking with them. You're going to be sitting near them. And there's something that happens between people when they're with each other, a chemical reaction. You secrete certain hormones that tell you, you know what? I don't feel right with this person, or I do feel right with this person. Can I be brutally honest? What if you don't like the way he or she smells? I mean, you may laugh at that, but it's true. This can be the case. I mean, you're planning on living with this person for the rest of your life, right? And so it's important to have that interaction, again, within the Islamic guidelines, not touching, not speaking immodestly, but there is value in being with each other. I'm talking from a very practical standpoint, right? Meet in order to feel the vibe of that person, which you cannot get through text, email, or phone. And then ask yourself the questions. Am I having good conversations with them? Are they making me laugh? Do we have a lot in common? Are there awkward moments of silence? To give you a little bit of my background, when I was looking for a wife, I spent about 5 years searching. And I met with many, many different families and many sisters. And I did exactly this. I sat down and I spoke to some sisters, one-on-one with the family in the other room. Sometimes we would meet at restaurants in public. And sometimes it went well where we had conversations. But other times, the conversation was very, very forced. It was not natural. It was very awkward. And I knew within 20 minutes, this woman cannot be my wife. We can't barely get past 3 or 4 minutes without awkwardness and just not connecting on things. So this is important, to sit down and have these conversations and to have these interactions.